Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Wednesday, June 7, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. Seattle Mariners vs San Diego Padres. The Mariners arrived in San Diego on the heels of a series sweep to the Rangers. Now 10 games out of first place in the AL West, Seattle is fading fast in the division race. The M's average 4.37 runs, 18th, and hit .228, 26th, with a .683 ops, 25th. They've launched 61 long balls, 21st, and stolen 36 bases, 21st, this season. The Seattle pitching staff sports a 3.97 ERA, 11th, and a 1.21 WHIP, 3rd, with 31 quality starts. The Mariners are 4-0 in their last 4 versus National League West and 5-1 in their last 6 road games versus a team with a losing record. They're also 12-4 in their last 16 interleague road games versus a team with a losing record. The Padres are 1-9 in their last 10 during Game 2 of a series and 1-7 in their last 8 games versus a starter with a WHIP of less than 1.15. They're also 1-5 in their last 6 home games, with the total set at 7.0 to 8.5. George Kirby is on the heels of a tremendous start and will carry that momentum versus a Friars lineup that has hit .211 against right-handed pitchers and .215 in day games. San Diego is still lost offensively and will show its colors against the electric young righty. Wacha was inefficient in his last outing on June 2, walking 5 and lasting less than 5 innings. After a stellar month of May in which he only gave up 3 earned runs in 32.0 innings, I feel he is due for regression. The 11th-year pro has faced the Mariners 4 times in the past 2 seasons, failing to pitch 5 full innings in all of his appearances. Wacha gave up a long ball in both of his starts against the M's last season and surrendered 8 hits in his most recent outing. One of those homers came off the bat of Mariners star Julio Rodriguez, and a few other players have significant experience against him, including Ty France, 8 career hits, Eugenio Suarez, 13 hits in the HR, and J.P. Crawford, 5 hits in the HR. With that said, I'm placing my bet on Seattle at -105 odds to win straight up on Wednesday in America's finest city. Our team pick is Mariners money line. After 60 games, San Diego is 7 games out of first place in the NL West and only 3 games away from a slip into last place. Still, a series win in Miami and a series split with the Cubs has breathed hope into the team's clubhouse. If this lineup wakes up, everything is still on the table for the Friars. San Diego scores 4.12 runs per game, 24th, and hits .222, 29th, with a .696 ops, 23rd. The Friars have 68 home runs, 14th, and 47 stolen bases, 11th this year. The South Dakota pitching staff has a 3.75 ERA, 7th, and a 1.24 WHIP, 7th, with 26 quality starts. Our total pick is under 8.5 runs. Detroit Tigers vs Philadelphia Phillies. After losing on Monday, Detroit had dropped 4 in a row outside of Comerica Park. It brought them to 12-19 in away games this season. As with their entire season, a lack of offensive production should shoulder the blame for their woes. During the 4-game skid, the Tigers only put up 6 total runs. For the season, they are 28th in runs per game. There isn't a club with a lower slugging percentage, and only 3 teams have a lower OBP. The Motor City's team is awful at driving in runs this year. Their pitching staff hasn't been phenomenal, only ranking 21st in ERA, but compared to the offense, that's impressive. Detroit's bullpen is middle of the pack compared to the rest of the league, but has fared better than their starting rotation. The Tigers have only had 2 reliable starters this season, which is why Reese Olson is getting his first taste of big league action this month. His MLB debut was June 2 against the White Sox, and he lasted 5.0 innings. Olson only allowed 2 hits and 1 walk while striking out 6. However, he gave up 2 runs and got 0 run support, so he took the loss. This will be a tougher offense, but if the Tigers can't score, it won't matter how well Olson pitches. These offenses aren't comparable at all, as the Phillies, who have underperformed, are miles ahead of the Tigers at the plate. Detroit's rookie pitcher, Reese Olson, had a great MLB debut, but pitching against this lineup will be more daunting than facing the White Sox. Zach Wheeler was brutal in his last outing, but is better at home and facing one of baseball's worst batting orders. Philadelphia shouldn't face many issues winning this game. Our team pick is Philadelphia Phillies minus 1.5 runs. While the Tigers are slumping, the Phillies' series opening win was their third consecutive victory. After losing 5 straight in the division, they desperately needed all 3 of those games. Philadelphia's offense put up 32 runs through their first 5 June games, and new addition Trey Turner appears to be heating up. He went through those 5 games with a 1.030 ops after a slow start to the year. The team is only 20th in runs per game, but with a healthy Bryce Harper and a hot Trey Turner, their production could jump up very quickly. Our total pick is under 8 runs. Minnesota Twins vs Tampa Bay Rays. Minnesota dropped their final 2 games of a 4-game set with the Guardians at home over the weekend, as their bats were unable to generate much in the way of offense. The Twins entered Tuesday 31-29 on the year and held a 3.5-game lead over Cleveland for the top spot in the AL Central. On Sunday afternoon, Minnesota finished with 5 hits, though Michael A. Taylor had 3 of them. The rest of the Twins lineup was a combined 2 of 29 in the contest. Willie Castro hit his 5th homer of the season in a losing effort to account for the Minnesota offense. The lack of production at the plate sent Joe Ryan, 7-3, to a tough loss. He threw 6.2 innings, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits with 1 walk and 4 strikeouts before departing. Minnesota has struggled when it comes to putting runs on the board of late, and Lopez hasn't been able to sustain his quick start in his first season with the franchise. He's been roughed up of late, as an ERA over 6 in his last 3 starts bears out, and facing a Tampa Bay team with plenty of dangerous hitters in their lineup isn't a cure for what ails you. Tampa Bay is a very good offensive team, and they have a deep bullpen of arms to lean on, which is important with Jeffrey Springs and Drew Rasmussen on the shelf, not to mention Tyler Glasnow still ramping up to full speed. The Rays break out the bats and put this one in the win column as Lopez continues to struggle. Our team pick is Tampa Bay Rays. For Minnesota, the over has hit in 3 out of the last 4 games started by Lopez. Our total pick is over. Kansas City Royals vs Miami Marlins. Only 2 MLB teams haven't hit 25 wins yet. Both are below 20 victories, and one of them is this Kansas City club. With Jordan Lyles in line to start this game, there's no better example of the Royals' penchant for losing in 2023. The Royals have lost all 12 of his starts this season, and he's been charged with 9 of them. Lyles has surrendered the most earned runs and home runs in the majors. Most of his starts have been ugly, making it evident that his role is to eat innings and protect a bullpen that's 29th in collective ERA. Should this start with how frequently the Royals lose in uncompetitive fashion this season, or with how hot the Marlins have been lately? Either way, this game has a high chance of ending in one way, with the Marlins winning easily. As if Kansas City's general issues weren't enough, both on the mound and at the plate, they have Jordan Lyles starting this game. He has been an automatic loss in 2023, and that won't change in Miami with the way the Marlins are playing. Our team pick is Miami Marlins minus 1.5 runs. Look for Cabrera to continue his strong stretch, as he will be able to shut down the anemic Royals offense, and this game to go under the projected number. Take the under. Chicago White Sox vs New York Yankees. Chicago swept the Tigers at home over the weekend and entered Tuesday winners of 4 of their previous 5 games. The White Sox entered Tuesday 4th in the AL Central with a 26-35 record and stood 5.5 games behind the Twins for the top spot in the division. On Sunday afternoon, Chicago got 2 hits each from Tim Anderson, run Luis Robert Jr., 2 runs, and Eloy Jimenez, RBI, to lead a 9-hit attack. Jake Berger, his 12th, hit a walk-off grand slam for the White Sox in the game. Michael Kopech didn't factor in the decision as he threw 7 innings, allowing 2 runs on 3 hits with 1 walk and 9 strikeouts. Liam Hendriks, 1-0, earned the win as he worked a 1-2-3 ninth, striking out 2 in relief. The pitching matchup leaves plenty to be desired in this contest, as Lynn has struggled most of the year, while the Yankees aren't even sure who will take the mound here. In the end, with the shakiness of the New York pitching situation, give the slimmest of edges to the White Sox in this contest. Nestor Cortez is headed to the Illinois, leaving the Yankees scrambling to fill a spot in the rotation. Whether it's Brito or Vasquez, neither guy is expected to provide much in the way of depth or keep the opposition off the board. The situation with Aaron Judge and his toe continues to linger over the Bronx Bombers as well and could play a factor in this one. Take the over on 8.5 runs. Houston Astros vs Toronto Blue Jays. The Houston Astros are back in the thick of the playoff race in the American League and once again look like a team capable of making a deep run in the playoffs. After defeating the Blue Jays 11-4 in Game 1 of this series on Monday night, Houston has now won 7 of their last 10 games and is within striking distance of the red-hot Rangers in the AL West. Take the Jays with the money line. On Tuesday night in Game 2 of the series, the Astros' bats were silenced by the Jays and fell 5-1. Houston had 4 hits and struck out 16 times in the loss. The Jays head into Game 3 in the best position to win a game over the red-hot Astros. Bassett has been outstanding at home this season with 4 quality starts out of 5 and a whip of just 0.89 at home. Bassett's K9 rate jumps up by nearly 2 strikeouts when pitching at home. Toronto has won each of Bassett's last 2 starts at home this season. The Astros will send Blanco to the mound in just his second start of the season against a Jays team that has won 4 out of 5 games heading into Tuesday night's game. Blanco also sports a whip of nearly 2, so expect there to be Blue Jays on the bases frequently in this game. Our total pick is over 9.5 runs.